Welcome to the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. We're reporting to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872.
All right, guys, welcome back into the Dollars and Cents podcast. This is our quick clip series with Wes the Economist. I'm Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist, season 4, episode 4. And today, no surprise, we are talking about the crazy assassination attempt or whatever this guy was trying to do last night. What it was last night? Yeah, as we record this.
As we recorded this last night, yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure by the time this gets going during the week, so this is going to release on Tuesday for our quick clip series. I'm sure by then we'll hear all kind of stuff. And I bet one of them is, well, he really wasn't there for Trump anyway. Because
Well,
I think it was.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things we're going to hear. I've already heard that he left a manifesto in a hotel room. His parents had already reported him to the police about wanting to make threats against the president. He had been to a bunch of those No Kings rallies, or at least one of them, from what I had heard. These are just little bits and pieces I saw earlier before we started recording. There was also, it was going around on X. There was an account opened in December of 2023, and it was like a random account.
I
Don't
saw
know who
that.
it's tied to, and they just literally it posted his name, and that
Yeah.
was the only post it ever made in December of 23, and that was it. Very weird. A lot of weird stuff going on. There's going to be conspiracies through the roof.
Yeah, you've
Obviously,
already said that people are saying it was staged.
90% of the comments I see on all of the posts about it say that it was staged. They're like, oh, and maybe his ear will bleed a little bit this time, just really making fun of it. It's scary that we're so desensitized to attempted murder of a
Well,
sitting president that we
the
just think it's fake.
the comments and all to me, and the more I read about this, the more I truly believe this, is these comments you're seeing, you say 90% of them, but I think 90% of them are bots and
It could be
are
bots.
created by outside accounts. I don't know if you saw that research by Clemson. They went in one day on the trending subjects, and the top 10 trending that day, 5, 6, or 7 of them were all started by one account somewhere in the Middle East, and it was literally using an algorithm to multiply it. And so we're talking about what we're talking about on these social media platforms, what somebody in another country wants us to talk about, and they're leading the conversation. And when I say this, out of those 6, about 4 of them were things that literally just were dividing the nation. People
Yeah.
need to wake up. I mean, it literally this stuff is crazy. You listen to all this stuff's coming out about the and this may be what our podcast should be about this weekend. The Southern Poverty Law Center and everything's happened with them this week with the felony indictments and everything that's happening. And as you look back over the last 10 years, how much of the manipulation has really come from a few people?
Yeah, it seems like a lot, especially on X, like you were saying, a lot of them seem like bots, and it's just like they're trying to divide us, and they're doing a great job of it. The disinformation campaigns and the divisive campaigns that whoever is doing this is using works really well. I think unfortunately there's a lot of dumb people that live in this country that don't want to do any type of research, so they're
Yeah.
also on these social media platforms just keyboard warrioring away. And that's a problem too. I mean, social media is going to be and AI are probably going to be the downfall of the world, but at this point, but it's amazing what you can get people to believe by just one post or just spreading one lie and how
Yeah.
it'll spread and just take over like a cancer.
And again, this has been going on a while. The first time I remember even thinking, what is going on here was back in 2016. This was outside the country. I was in Nicaragua. And I've told you, I've got a lot of people down there I'm close to, like a family. And one of them is a young lady, or she's older now. She's living in Spain with her family, her husband and kids. But she literally looked at me and said, well, this guy Trump running for your presidency hates Latinos. I was like, what do you mean he hates Latinos? Well, he said it. He said all that Latinos were murderers and rapists. I said, no, he didn't. But literally, he was talking about was it M13?
Yeah, MS-13.
MS-13.
Okay.
But it was one of those first things that they took out of context and just made everybody believe it. And then Charlottesville, that Southern law, now we know
Yeah.
had something to do with. But people just eat this stuff up. And then it
Yeah.
continues like it's fact for a decade. And it
Yeah.
really doesn't happen. And so no matter what comes out about the assassination attempt last night, no matter what proof at this point comes out about it, there's going to be lies and false narratives on both sides. I mean,
Mhm.
I heard last night as soon as it happened, they killed the guy. So this still, I
Apparently,
still
he didn't
see.
take a shot at all, which I mean, he didn't get shot at all, which I don't understand that
I
either.
don't either. And he, but I even today you see posts, well, he's dead. What are you worried about? I mean, they don't even know he's not dead. He's in custody and he
Right.
wasn't shot. People just like you said, they don't take the time to learn about what's going on. They just take whatever comes across their feed as the gospel.
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872.
All right. Well, now it's officially time to introduce my book, Econ Sense, Economics for Everyday Living. You can actually find it by going to my website, econsense.us. If you go there, you'll see there are links to Amazon where you can pick it up, just a paperback, or if you'd rather have the ebook, you can go to Innovative Ink Publishing in care of Kendall Hunt Publishing Company, where you can get the print or ebook. And while you're on that website, you can also check out my other podcast, Econ Sense. I have several different series that go by. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Email me at west.the.economist@gmail.com, and I look forward to hearing from you.
As we're one of these people coming across your feed.
Right, right. It is scary though. Like obviously we don't have a lot of the details yet, but
Yeah.
honestly, the last two assassination attempts, we don't have much details about. I
Well,
don't know much about them because they kind of buttoned everything up, kind of brushed it under the
we
rug.
don't
Even,
know
like
we don't know anything about the first one.
what blows my mind is even Trump isn't like, "Hey, we need to get to the bottom of this." He's just like, "Oh yeah, just another attempt at my life, just a crazy person." Which maybe he really just thinks that he just thinks there's a bunch of crazy, which
Well,
he
that's the
could
other
be onto
issue
something there.
here.
But
That's the other issue. This guy is a teacher, it looks like. He's won awards, and then I forget what I just read before we came on the air. This is not some fringe lunatic that's living in a cave somewhere or living out in the middle of nowhere that's trying to save the world. This is literally an everyday person. And
yeah,
you see these people on Instagram and all that. They look like normal people who are just deranged. But
yeah.
again, I think they're being, I hate to say programmed, but what else do you call it?
I don't know what else you would call it. I mean, it's like a brainwashing. It's definitely, I mean, it's almost like being programmed. I mean, it's like if you go on social media and you look at the comments and you look at the two sides against each other, it's literally all the same talking points down the line on both sides.
Yeah.
So it is almost like you're brainwashed so bad by what you listen to and what you're fed and what your algorithms are that you become a robot and you just spit out it's so hard for people to like have a common middle ground and to just talk things out. And I have a great example of this because I was without going into too much detail who it was. I was at dinner not last night, the night before with some people. Two of them are very liberal. One of them I was able to have a conversation with because something got brought up about a topic, and so we started going back and forth about it. But I was able with one of the people to make we had a conversation. She would say some facts, I would say some facts, she would say something. I'm like, no, that's not true, and we would go back and forth, and we had a discussion. Meanwhile, the other person I was talking to went straight emotional, and I was like, all right, I can't continue the conversation with you. We're at a restaurant. You're going to get too emotional. We're not going to be able to go back and forth like a normal, discussion. Thankfully, I was with the one person, but most of the people are like that other person where if I
Yeah.
try to talk to them about anything, it's immediately emotion. You're lying, you're this, you're that, and it name calling into the conversation, no discussion. And these are real world discussions I've tried to have, and it's very rare that I can have them because it goes straight to a place where it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the divisiveness that it's like you're either on my side or you're on my side. And if you're anywhere in here, you're crazy. If you're on that side, you're crazy. If you're on that side, you're crazy. But me being somebody that can sit in the middle and kind of play devil's advocate and look at both sides, I'm hated more than the people on either side because
Yeah.
I use rational logic, common sense, and actually use facts. And neither side really seems to like that too much because it goes against what
No,
they may be saying. And it's like being programmed.
it really is. It worries me. I mean, it's even in class. Um, I run across the same thing, and it's disheartening. One thing I hope my class does is help people understand that there are two sides to every issue. And I tell them, and I think everybody should be like this. If you cannot articulate the other side enough to debate it with somebody, even though you don't believe it, If you cannot debate it with somebody, then you don't know enough about the subject to debate it all.
Yeah.
And then I
that's
say,
fair.
and then and I say, think about this. If you don't know the other side, how do you know they're wrong?
Right. Right. Yeah, if I can't, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. If I can't argue from the people don't agree with their point of view to be like, okay, this is what they would probably say. This makes sense, but this is why I don't agree with it. But
Right.
if you can't see it from that side and compare and contrast, and all you're going to do is hit your side, and there's never going to be a compromise. There's never going to be a discussion. It's just going to be like, you're wrong, I'm right. This is why, and then it's just going to be emotional, and there's not going to be any ground made whatsoever.
Yeah.
So long
All
story
right.
short, I don't think the assassination was fake, and I think we all need to talk more.
I think so too. I agree. All right. We'll wrap this one up and we'll move on to another one. And again, write us, send us some of your feedback. We'd love to hear what you think about it. Dollars, cents, gs@gmail.com.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Stay safe out there.
When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit bobbyclary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right.
Eisenhower Dental, located at 107 Waccamaw Medical Park Drive in Conway, a place where you can find all your dental services, including general dentistry, cosmetic, restorative, and pediatric dentistry. Reach out to them today at their website, eisenhowerdental.com, or call them at 843-234-3110, 843-234-3110, and tell them Wes the Economist sent you. Mortgage payment, insurance payments, credit card payments, they can be very overwhelming. Are you ready to take the time to get things under control? Then reach out to me at Clark Financial Coaching to see if we can get you started with a budget and then a vision for the future. Write me at coachwesc@gmail.com. That's coachwesc@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and X at DollarsCentsGS and on Facebook at Dollars and Cents.